Okay. So I actually wanted to talk to you guys about iJump instead. You guys combine the diet and the seller sizing, right? Or is it just mostly, 'cause the last time I was on there anyway, it was diet and seller sizer.
We did sort of steer away from diet because we noticed that our diet patterns were changing as our weight was shifting and as our goals were changing. And it was hard to keep up with our foundational message. Even though it was a basic message, we were going through whether we were including sugar or not, including caffeine or not, including lots of vegetables or not, maybe more 90%, 10% kind of thing, 50-50. Like more there was protein. Such a wave of all of those aspects of the diet that we decided to take that off of the plate and just focus on training. But we still have our trophy body diet Instagram that we keep up with for the most part and share what we're eating. But
70% of our following on YouTube is above 45 years old.
Oh, wow.
Or is it above 35? 65% I think is above 45. And then we have like 10%, 35 to 45. So these people aren't young looking for a new diet to try. They're usually just set in their diet ways.
That's not true, because in our Facebook group, a lot of people have come over to the Starch Solution and have really enjoyed it. And because they're in their 50s, they're actually mature enough to try the diet. And
there is a percentage. I'm not sure what percentage.
They just want to eat lower carb, higher protein.
We don't want to turn off anybody, and we want to just focus on the jumping message.
I mean, that's good. You know, you can only focus on so many things, but it sounds like you guys have found that you need more protein the more of the bouncing you do. Is that the case?
Oh yeah. Like last summer, I was 125 and just 125 pounds and just straight up and down. And I at the time I liked it, but then I started
and soft, right?
And yeah, no definition. And at the time I liked it, but then when she started to dip her toes in bodybuilding, we both started to see all of these bodies that were really jacked. And yes, they're potentially more jacked than we will ever be in their own way, because they're pushing iron and they're potentially taking, physical enhancing drugs. Yeah. But I started becoming obsessed with like all of the muscle. And then I looked at myself and I was like, I have none. Wow, this diet has literally stripped me clean of all of my muscle. But the cellerciser had built a foundation of strength for my body. Thank God I had the cellerciser, but at the same time,
the diet was not.
The diet was not right. There was it was so high carb that. And a lot of the training in trophy body training 1.0 and 2.0 is a little bit more cardio focused to help reduce fat, which is exactly what we needed, but the muscle wasn't growing bigger. And so we both decided to try higher protein. And as soon as we did, we started growing more muscle. And so we were like, all right, we're onto something, but now we need to figure out what protein sources we want to be eating.
So yeah, let me kind of clarify with increased protein, because it kind of is just, there's a translation and there's like the instant, like, what do you think when you say high increased protein? It's like you look at a plate and you want to increase like the meat or like the pure protein products, like even protein powder. But really it was just not focusing so much on potatoes
and rice
and sugar and fruit, and instead incorporating more wheat, incorporating more
quinoa,
peas.
Yeah.
And
I do see you guys mention peas a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. We went through a pea phase.
Peas are good, and wheat cereal is good, and wheat crackers and homemade breads.
Yes.
Bread itself,
higher protein starches,
and mainly wheat. Like if someone is sensitive to wheat, they won't get to be as lucky as we are, that we get to just eat tons of different wheat types of products. But wheat has been one of our main sources of carbohydrates versus potatoes and rice.
Now that we're wanting more protein.
And so, that's our increase of protein, is just choosing starches that have a little bit more protein. And we've noticed
it's evolving though, because we're now because we're building so much muscle, we have more wiggle room with what we choose to eat.
And we
And
have
so
put a
now we're
little bit-
eating more processed food. We're having Morningstar sausages. We're having smart dogs. We're
It
having
was all processed.
meatballs that are, it's all processed, and it satisfies us so much. And it's almost like the traditional American diet when we have our morning, like a hot dog and potatoes and gravy and a vegetable. But you know what? There's 20 grams of protein in that meal, and they're only 80 calories per sausage. And so we're not trying to be, perfect with, what's the word for, I don't want to say orthorexic. We're not trying to be, perfect. We're just trying to meet our protein needs, not over consume calories, and enjoy our food to the fullest.
So maybe someone coming from a lower carb, high fat, or high protein diet, their transition would be to transition over to fake meats and to vegan plant-based meats or whatever. Our transition was coming from such low protein that we incorporated more higher protein starches. And again, it was a transition, and we've now transitioned month or after month after month. Now we are increasing some of the fake meats and stuff.
Yeah.
But we, at first, when we were eating super high carb, low fat, the fake meats and stuff were just like, ugh, like they didn't feel that great. So it was good for us to kind of take the first step, the baby step, which was more peas and more crackers and more wheat.
Yeah.
And now we're
And
able
cereal.
to better
Yeah.
tolerate more like fake meats and protein powder and stuff, which is great because it tastes good and it's fun.
It really
And
is fun.
Whether or not the protein is putting more muscle, we're so focused on dialing in and getting stronger in our flexing ability that is probably what's really giving us the
results.
And then the satiation from the increased protein is helping us to, get the best workouts that we can.
You mentioned wheat. Some people don't know this, but if you eat sourdough, generally you don't have the same results as if it was just like regular wheat, because there's a starter instead of yeast. So sometimes you can get away with that. So
that's good to know.
It's good to know. Yeah. This actually kind of completely contradicts a video I got coming out in 15 minutes here. Because I come from like anti-protein because I had my kidneys shut down from the keto and everything like that. So I really got to watch, but it seems like it's really working for you, the two of you. So
Our protein percentage is probably averaging 15.
Yeah, or less. I mean, it's just not 2.5 to 5.
Right.
Okay.
It's not 20 to 30.
Yeah, it's just 10 to 15.
Okay. This is good to know that you're kind of focusing more. Now, do you think that any diet could lose weight on your plan, or do you think that there has to be some kind of moderation or some kind of, I mean, you probably couldn't just eat 100% fat and lose the fat, right?
I think that our ability, satiation and hunger cues are so important. They're the foundation of weight loss, being able to be, to feel and connect to the signals of satiation and hunger. And so like the more stimulating a food can be, everybody's food certain foods are more stimulating, like oils or fats could be very stimulating to someone where they could be a turn off to someone else. So whatever foods are like hitting that too much stimulation, those are harder foods to chew, and they're harder foods to detect fullness from them. And so at the end of the day, some people say it's all calories in, calories out, and some people say the less fat you eat, the less fat you wear. But for us, at the end of the day, it's connecting with foods that we really enjoy, and only just having a sprinkle or a kiss of the high stimulation foods, and acknowledging that the best quantities, the perfect quantities for our digestion will be consumed when we aren't just ignoring the inability to stop eating certain foods. Chewing is so important. So like there could be someone that says, if you just masticate every single bite, every single, morsel of food in your mouth, you could be eating basically anything, but that doesn't really acknowledge that there's foods that you're not going to actually have the ability to chew them. You're just going to inhale them. You know what I'm saying?
That's a loaded question. That was a really good
Yeah, it's
question
a good
because there's just so much that goes into what each person, each body type, can we digest? Do we digest carbs well? Do we digest fats and proteins better? Because some people swear by keto, swear by it, and some people swear by fruitarian. And so it's really about going inward and finding out what are our favorite foods, how can we make them in a healthy way so that when we finish a good portion of a meal, we feel satisfied and we're not reaching for more, because we could be eating the perfect foods that we think are perfect, but then we're snacking and we're craving and we're not sleeping well. And so there's a lot that goes into it.
Do you think the diet evolves the more you do your program?
You mean jumping?
Yeah, the jumping and
We've had more food freedom.
Oh yeah.
With the more muscle we build, and our weight has been stable, if not increasing slightly, and our body fat percentage has gone down, and our food freedom has increased.
Oh, jumping is
the jumping.
Yeah.
It's like the best friend for any diet.
Say,
like any diet you do, if you jump along with it, you're going to notice that.
But you want to have clear skin, and you want to have
Yeah.
healthy bowel movements, and you want to feel good in your stomach, not feel like you ate too much or that you're always hungry. So there's so many variables with that relationship with food. And when we can just acknowledge that it's a personal relationship, and the whole goal is to accept where we're at now and to practice getting better at it, whether it be flexing or stretching on the rebounder or off the rebounder, or whether it be chewing or eating the foods we want to eat and eating at the right times, eating the right amounts. It's all a practice game, and the only way we know what to do next is to learn from our past and apply it to the future.
Why is cellercising or rebounding so much more effective than anything else?
Because of what it does to the digestive system. It is transformative for digestive health. The way that it helps us to digest, assimilate, eliminate, that process in the body should be regarded as the most important process for overall health.
Isn't this the second brain, that digestion?
Yeah, the vagus nerve.
That's
so
right.
How we assimilate and all that definitely plays a role. We can't say though that there will be people that train, weightlift and they'll get great results. We can't say that it's necessarily superior, but we're gonna find out just how different the shape of our body ends up, and the health and longevity of our careers as bodybuilders, as jumpers. That is going to be the ultimate proof.
It can't be compared. I know you said it may not be superior, but it's not on the same field.
It's
of
different.
Any other.
So yeah, it's not better
form of.
It's different.
The
second we tell people it's better, that's when people are going to be like, I've been doing this other thing for swimming, for instance. It's good. Swimming is excellent.
But it's not shaking, it's not agitating, it's not like a washing machine.
Whatever makes you happy, and happiness comes from health, like actually having real health and hormone balance and having a stable weight that's not like going up and down. So whatever you can do to become happy, jumping may have mental health effects, may be able to help us to have a healthier mental relationship with ourselves, because of the circulation in our whole body, in our brain, and in our central nervous
endorphins
system
that are released. Jumping.
So that ends up being,
it really is.
Yeah, it ends up.
There's no comparing it. It's the foundation of all sport, of health, of life. If we know about it and if we actually use it, and there's never been anybody that's ever said otherwise. Nobody says, oh, jumping just wasn't for me. It was like, probably because you were going through a detox period and you didn't allow yourself to get through the detox period.
Or you were
and then you could feel
bungee unit.
What the washing machine does. It cleans you out.
And it must be said that lymphatic isn't going to drain like weightlifting, or I don't even think swimming. I mean, that's, I think, the biggest aspect of the whole thing.
What about cycling? Do you think that the cycling?
No. Well, if it does, it just does I'm actually a huge cyclist. I actually for a while didn't even own a car. But it might drain the legs, but I feel like it stagnates in the gut.
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
cycling.
Oh, definitely. There's no agitation in cycling.
No.
Yeah, you can stand up and sit down and you can pump your heart like you've never pumped your heart before. And then, all that muscle, the blood, the oxygen in the blood can move fast through your body, and the muscles are not trying to grow because you need to move that oxygen through your body fast. So basically your muscles disappear when you do a lot of cycling, unfortunately, because the body is so intelligent that it wants to get that blood through. So it's like, all right, muscles are last priority. So there's that aspect of blood moving through, but it's not sucking and pumping the lymphatic system like jumping does.
And it's just a very limited motion.
It
Where
is. Yeah.
rebounding, we can be
Yeah.
in all the positions,
Yes.
and we can put that light resistance against our body in all the positions, whether we're
Yes.
leaning back, leaning forward,
Oh, yeah.
squatting down.
Sitting.
And so we ultimately
laying.
just get more agile, more flexible, and stronger in all positions, and more shape. We have more shape. I don't think anybody ever said that they wanted to look like they have no shape when they want to have a transformation and have a good body. They want to have shape. Doesn't have to be a bodybuilder, doesn't have to be crazy. There has to be some shape. And the second you lose that shape is the second people will automatically say, you look too skinny. And it's not because you look low body fat, it's because you look too under muscular.
Mm-hmm.
So we can be leaner than someone who is cycling, but because we have the muscle density and the shape, they're way less likely to say, you look too skinny. It's a muscle thing. You look hardy. Looks like you've stored some muscle density. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And you have a faster
And
metabolism.
you're lean
from it.
as all heck.
I mean, you don't want to burn through your food so fast that you can't even keep up with yourself. Like I said, 3 bowls of cereal in the middle of the night. I heard a story from Michael Arnstein, and he used to wake, there was times,
Oh, yeah.
he was an ultra marathon runner, and he would
Yeah.
wake up in the middle of the night and have 15 bananas. I think that seed was planted in my head. And then there were middle of the nights where I was like, can't sleep. So I would get up and it was like 1 bowl of cereal wouldn't do it. And so then I would have to have another bowl of cereal. I was like, this
And
is
then the
insanity.
digestion gets overwhelmed.
Oh, I wake up and
You
I
might
still
get
have
away
it
with it.
digesting. And
You
it's
might get
like,
away with
ugh.
it for like the first couple weeks or month, but then all of a sudden the stomach's going to say, whoa, 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 whoa.
But if you're eating fruit,
20
that
years-
could be different.
20 years in the making, you've never done this to your digestion. What are you doing? Maybe you can spend 3 years adapting and increasing calories very slowly. If that's what you want to do, if you want to spend the rest of your life, eating fruit and low fat, you got to adapt. But if that's not your choice, if you want to be able to eat more starches and higher proteins, fats, then you got to choose an exercise. It's not endurance training. Endurance.
Well, yeah, and the NASA study, according to NASA study, there was a walking, it burns more calories, 11 times more than walking, 6 times more than jogging, like 3 times more than running.
I mean, I don't know, like that's probably true, but like
if you read this, have you read the study?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
We
it's
never
all
read
over
the
the
study. We
cellerciser
read
website.
that portion of the
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the cellerciser
The
website,
claim.
cellerciser.com has so many of those facts that you're stating, and they're very interesting. And yes, how are they doing it? How are they determining the calories? But they're probably doing studies where they're taking people and they're putting them in these situations and they're burning more calories. And it could be because of the metabolic effect it has, or from digestive assimilation. I'm telling you, when we assimilate and we move food through, we are getting rid of food fast. We don't want food to sit in our bodies for 36, 48 hours. We need to move them through
Well,
fast.
doesn't fruit move through faster?
Well, what I'm saying, that the jumping helps to move anything through. Like I said, you could be on a fruit diet, doesn't matter. The jumping will assist.
Yeah. Hydration helps.
Oh, yeah.
And eating the right portions and eating what the body is kind of used to eating, and slowly, adapting yourself to healthier foods or less processed foods. Jumping definitely helps with digestion. It doesn't make you a magical digester by any means, but it definitely can improve your ability to digest food. We
You
try.
You two don't seem to agree on the digestion thing.
I
We
think
tried eating 5,000 calories and jumping, and it didn't work. It didn't put food through our bodies faster. It made us bloated
But
and
we
we
were
gained weight.
But we were not honoring our appetites because we were believing that we needed to be eating 3,500 calories in order to lose any weight. So we
yeah, if
were
you're eating the proper amount of
brainwashed.
calories.
Had we been following our appetite,
Yeah,
Been a
hunger is
lot quicker.
sure.
oh man.
To close this out, everybody go check out I Jump Instead. How does the website work? Is it like a pay for a month, or how does the website work?
It's just a website that will guide you through which training program might be suited best for you. And also we link the cellerciser website so that you can read all of the studies and all of the facts on that website. And it also shows some before and after pictures. It has testimonies from our people in our Facebook group that have amazing testimonies from jumping instead with us. And we have
Our programs,
Our
which are a
programs-
one-time purchase. Once you
Yeah,
purchase the
just-
programs, then with internet, you have access to our routines.
And they're
for life.
$30, actually $20 for Trophy Body Training 1.0 if you just get level 1 or level 2. But if you get both levels, it's $30 and you have it for life. That's less than the cheapest gym membership that you're ever going to get ever. And you'll own them for life. And people are in our Facebook group. What you can do is once you buy our programs and you go through the training programs, you can also be dabbling on YouTube. We have over 100 YouTube routines. You can always go back to those because those are made specifically for hitting the full body in a strategic way, Monday through Saturday. So you don't have to think Monday's workout is Monday's workout. Saturday's workout is Saturday's workout. You don't have to think outside of that. Some people like to go rogue and do YouTube, and then some people need the structure.
And we have over 100 workouts on our YouTube channel. I Jump Instead. Just go to the playlist section
Playlists are
and
the
you'll find
best.
all the workouts there, because we have tons of vlogs on our
Yeah.
YouTube channel as well that will kind of, dilute the workouts.
Yeah.
And then our Instagram handles, we've got I Jump Instead, where we are, promote our jumping and stuff. And then we have also Trophy by Diet, where we are, sharing our food transformation. And then we have the Trophy Twins, which is where we kind of will do our posing and kind of more spicy content. Not like that spicy, but some
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
content where we shake our booty. But yeah, so that's basically it. Yeah. And we're going to do our first bodybuilding show in November, and it's going to be great. We're going to show off the muscles that we are building on the cellerciser.
Yeah, let the results speak for
and
themselves.
the diet we're eating. And
Yeah.
we're going to continue to, transform over the years and see where life takes us, see where
But we have
our
high
futures.
hopes.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be going well for you now, and thanks for joining me on my channel here.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having us,
inviting
Ryan.
us.
This was really fun.
Yeah. All right. So go check them out. They've got, I'll put all the links down below. Go join everything. Go follow whatever it is on any platform, and like, subscribe, and I will talk to you next time.
Thank you. Bye.